Alright, base heads. I've been back home since 3 o'clock yesterday, which was Monday. Today's Tuesday. I'm back home. Glad to be back home. Slamology was good. There was more good things about it than bad. I had a couple of humps. If I can fit those humps in this video, I will, or I'll make a separate video about the humps because both of them may be a little lengthy. Okay, but right now I'm going to talk about the good, great things that happened at Slam. And then I'm going to talk about the bad things that happened from the beginning of me leaving my garage, my house. Okay? All right. First things first, I wasn't going to come to Slam. You know, within a month of Slam, I was heavily thinking about not coming because I haven't been to Slam since 2019. Okay? I'm going to be drinking some of my pop while I'm talking. These last couple of days has been cool in the morning again, even way out there in Kentucky and Cincinnati. It was cool the morning I left, like in the 50s, crazy. Alright, but anyway, yeah, I wasn't going to go. And then I was going to go, then I wasn't going to go, then I was going to go. And I just decided, why don't I go? I haven't been there since 2019. You know, I knew I was going to run into a lot of people I haven't seen in some years because I haven't been out to no Ohio shows either. There came a time where I just stayed local. I still competed, but stayed local. And then around 2022, 21, I didn't compete at all. I just went to the local shows. I went there, watched them, and then left. And didn't compete. You know what I mean? I wanted to see what it was like to not compete. You know what I mean? In case I ever gave it up. You know what I mean? I would always remember it, always think about it, look at my trophies, reminisce, probably get a couple of tears and so on and so forth, and then move on. Because y'all had heard at times over the years I thought about giving up car audio. You know what I mean? But sometimes, as the saying goes in the mafia, once you're in, you can't get out. And I'm going to say this for any of you that's walking in Christianity. You can backslide. I was told this some years ago. You can backslide and give up on God, but He never gives up on us. But once you're in, you can't get out. Because it's going to keep tugging at you. You understand? Okay, my car's dirty now and it needs to be cleaned. I need to wipe it off. I went down there with it sparkling. But anyway, the upside. I've seen people I haven't seen in years. I've seen fans that I have across Facebook and YouTube that I had never met. Some I have met, some that's been following me, or I'm following them on YouTube and never actually met them. They might have asked me some questions. I might have asked some questions across YouTube. I'm always posting up my demo videos on YouTube, and I post them on Facebook as well. Okay? And I met, ran into people. Yes, my car do attract a lot of attention when it's out there, man. Even if I don't want it to. All right? When I got to Slam, I knew people was going to be bombarding me, asking for demos because I was in the VIP section. What I didn't really like about there is that everything was so far away from each other at walking distance. You know what I mean? The bathrooms was way down on one end. And if you had to go to the bathroom, there's one point I had to go to the bathroom so bad, not number 2, but number 1, that I was going to go behind a wall and go, or try to go behind some tree that was close and go, but would have gotten seen doing it. So I was like, nah. I don't want nobody to be like, there's a bathroom right up the street. Somebody trying to be a goody two-shoes, but really ain't a goody two-shoes, if y'all get my drift. All right, so, I took that long, glorious walk. But anyway, it was good to be there. It was good to be out of town because, to be honest with you, I need a vacation bad. A real vacation, man. Because all I do is cut here, cut here, and cut here, and cut here. And the only vacation I may get is something like Slam or Brand X, a Resilient Sounds big car audio show. Them 2 or 3 days may be the only vacation I get in years. And I need a real one, like a whole week or a whole 2 weeks somewhere. Or some new female that I meet that lives in another state, and I go over her house for a week and get away from these ones, man, because I can't understand them. I just don't. You know what I mean? I just don't, bro. But anyway, it was good to get down there, get my car down there, and people that never saw it in real life get to see it and touch it and look at it and get in it and look around it and get a demo in it. It was good for that, man, and people to admire it and constantly comment on it. Man, that's nice, and it just attracts everybody's attention. They walk from one point of the park to the other just to get a closer look. Man, I saw you on YouTube, bro. Man, I couldn't wait to meet you. Yada, 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 so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And man, I've been following you for years, and it's good to hear stuff like that when you're out there, because some of you guys are popular in football, basketball, hockey, soccer, golf, wrestling, or whatever you do. You know what I mean? You got followers. You know what I mean? And it's good to have followers and good to have fans and good to be recognized and all of that. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I mean? And good to be doing something different than what everybody else around here is doing. And if you're not doing it, you're not popular. And I don't really care about any of that there. But anyway, you know, it's good to be popular in something and compete in something and win awards in what you're competing in, because us base heads, and y'all can agree with me, we put a lot of wear and tear on our equipment, our cars, and all of that basing and beating on it and shaking bolts loose and breaking stuff on your dashboard and breaking windows and breaking this and breaking that, and amps going out on you when they worked 100% the day before, and then the next day they decide to break and all that, and you spend all kinds of money on it. And it don't matter if you only spent $350 for an amplifier that does over 9,000 watts. That's still money. So if you got 9 or 10 of them in your car, you spent a lot of money. You know what I mean? And $350 and stuff like that, or $250 for the sub or whatever, doesn't come easy. You got to work your ass off for it. You know what I mean? Why you got bills at the house, man? So, with that being said, you know, there's a lot of bass heads that have built real big, gigantic builds, and they're only meant for them to demo in them. And I understand that, man. If you don't want to compete, you don't have to compete. If you don't want, you know what I mean? You just build it, it looked good, the paint job cost $5,000 on it before you even got to the stereo system. And you know what I mean? The next thing you know, you got $50,000 or more invested in the car other than the car itself. You know what I mean? So that's that. And you know what I mean? So, you know, I can understand if you don't want to get out there and be, not only are you demoing, you're competing. You're going against 40 or 50 different people, maybe even 100 people you're going against, trying to at least get a third place trophy so you can, you know, have something to show for when you come back home, or for all your hard work. I get that. So this is the reason why it was good to be down there and to get down there. And that was crazy hot. The difference between Ohio and Pittsburgh is flat land there. That's why I would like to move to Ohio, really. If I had the chance, or ever get the chance to up and blaze, that may be my first stop before I decide to move any further. It would be Ohio. You know what I mean? I pick one good area, one nice good area in Ohio where I can get to all the car audio shows on either side of me. You know what I mean? Where it's, you know, peaceful and, you know, and this, that, or the other. And being that I won't know people like that now, I may run into bass heads, for sure. Because there's a lot of them in Ohio, all spread out all over Ohio. Columbus, Cincinnati, Batavia, and Lima, and places like that in Ohio where there's bass heads just everywhere. You know what I mean? That I am recognized by, I know them, they know me. You know what I mean? And yada, yada, yada. So, you know, that'd be the first place I would hit, would be Ohio. You know, then you don't have to worry about this inspection sticker bullshit. Pennsylvania, there's just a lot of things about PA that just irks me, man. It just irks me. You know what I mean? Seriously, dude. A lot of stuff. But I was born and raised here. Yeah, I was born and raised here. and all that, but never liked it, even as a kid. Even in my teens, I hated PA for a whole lot of reasons, man. We're slow. I mentioned that before. But anyway, you know, I had fun in the organizations. You know what I mean? Like Base Wars, I know Tony and them guys. Mecca, I'm a Mecca head. That's my favorite car audio forum. You know what I mean? Once it became my favorite back in I didn't understand it in 2003. That was the first time I ever entered it, and it came to our side of town. The first time I met Steve Stern. And I didn't understand it because I was so used to, USAC would come once every couple years, or every year at a certain location until it didn't. And then I got into DB Drag real deep. And you know what I mean? Before I got into Mecca real deep, when I got into Mecca and started understanding Mecca, I started to like Mecca because of the forums Mecca had. And then I would just travel to Mecca. I would travel to Ohio for DB Drag as well. I did them both. I was hopping between them both. Okay, and I started liking Mecca, really liking Mecca. So, and it's to this day I like Mecca. Now I've had my, times when I was pissed off at Mecca and stuff like that, I'll be honest with you. And then when I had the chance to speak my mind, I did. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna give some a lot of credit and throw a shout out to Shannon and Bud because, even though I heard bad stuff about them, you just don't listen to people until you get to know somebody for yourself, bro. Don't listen to rumors. I don't like rumors. Find out for yourself if the person or people are bad before you make a final decision on if you're going to decide to like. Now, if they didn't do nothing to you, you have no reason not to like somebody that didn't do nothing bad to you. I've been trying to teach people this for years, but you got people out there that are just spiteful people. And if I get an opportunity to cuss your ass out and teach you some common sense, I damn sure will. You know what I mean? And if from there you don't learn anything, I back up and leave you the hell alone. I will leave you the hell alone. I'm good at that. Period. Ain't gonna be no what's up soda, none of that, because I'm gonna take you as being fake. You get it? So, if you give a damn, then act like you got some common sense. If you don't, then keep doing what you do. All right, so let me walk around here so I don't be... I'm not going to talk about the bad stuff yet. But anyway, I had a good time down there. I had a good time. Was eating some good food. You know what I mean? Was getting to conversate, joke like I do when I'm joking and I'm not pissed off. Everybody got another side of them. I'm one of them. I show respect when I show respect. Other than that, man, I fight fire with fire. Being a Christian and all. Sorry, that's one of my downfalls. The Bible says love. You don't get no credit from God if you love everybody that love you, but love the people that hate you. That's one of the hardest things to do as a Christian, other than sex and money. You understand? Okay. I fight fire with fire. You know why? Because I want the person or people to feel the same pain that they're throwing out. I want them to get a taste of what it feels like for anybody to do back to you what you do to them. Maybe that's a lesson learned. Sometimes it is a lesson learned. Like when you sit in jail for 30-something damn years and you come out and you haven't seen the world. Some people come out a new person. Some people don't. But anyway, I'm going to give a shout out to them too, because they go through a lot, man. Some people don't understand what they go through. They go through hate. I don't know why forums fight against forums. I'll never understand that. I don't know why base heads fight against base heads. We're all in this to have fun, bro. A lot of money spent, a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work to do this, man. Instead of people working together, everybody wants to be that dude or that chick. They want their ass sniffed all damn day. Or kissed. Or licked. One of the 4, 5, or 6. You know what I mean? And be that person that have the best form in the world. Even if you had the baddest form out there, you're not going to be able to feed the attention and the needs of every base head anyway. Because some people's not going to like your form regardless of whatever they don't like in your form. You know what I mean? And I'm basically a Mecca head, period. Been one, even in the ups and downs of it. or liking it or not liking it, or loving it or not loving it. I didn't know how Shannon, what kind of people they were going to be when they took over. I didn't know none of that. I was hoping that some things would change. They got new classes and new stuff, and I've talked to them about it and so on and so forth, and they got new classes and that, and I know them classes are going to build up over the years and get popular over the years. I know it's going to happen, man, but, when they was giving out awards, man, cats behind them, they're talking about what the heck is bang with bangers, like what the heck is whatever form you run, what the heck is whatever the name of them is. I'm hearing negative stuff while I was out there, but like I said, the good things was I got out there, it was a new venue, I liked the venue, even though everything was far away from me, I still liked the venue because everything was organized. You had the car show on one side of the racetrack with the $10,000 paint jobs and all of that. And you had the car audio on the opposite side with all the bass and all the bills and all the guys that came from other countries and got their vehicles over here somehow, came from other states and had these crazy bills and all these ideas and all this stuff for people to learn and us to learn and them to learn of what we have and what kind of cars we put them in, how we got them in the cars we put them in, And I can't speak for everybody else. I speak for me getting out there to find out how many people to look up to me over this. Over this. And when people asked for advice, I gave it. I didn't sit there and go, oh man, act like my ass ain't stink straight off the damn toilet. I gave it or helped them or told them what they can do or told them how I did this. Or told them, especially the OGs, the old school cats that was just out there to watch. And they walked past my car looking at what the car is and trying to figure out what the car is, even though the name of it's on it, what it is on the side. What kind of car? Well, I thought it was a Monty. I thought it was a Regal. I thought it was a Cutlass. Oh man, wow. And I was like, what? Did you know what a Delta 88 looked like? Some of them has a four-door. Yeah, I was like, picture this without all of this done to it. You know what I mean? And the alternator bracket was one of the big deals of this car, technically, when the hood was up. They would stop here and couldn't stop looking at here, and couldn't stop looking down there, and couldn't stop looking over here, and couldn't stop looking over here and wondering what the hell was going on. Hey man, 4 alternators losing their natural mind now. Nowadays, I know with the C-Max lithium batteries and all the hybrid batteries and lithium batteries, period, you don't need 4 alternators no more. You can use 2 500 amp ones and boom, that battery is happy because the battery itself is a strong ass battery. I can understand that. You know what I mean? And they're like they're like caught between in a time warp, sort of, when guys were using 6 alternators and 5 alternaters, and the Armored Gates truck had like 12 of them going in a circle and stuff like that. When using lead acid batteries and regular AGMs, I get it. Okay, they're mesmerized. Oh my God, look at all these batteries. You know what I mean? Alternators. Why? I was like, well, since I made this bracket, I'm gonna keep it like it is. I'm not gonna make another bracket and just use 3. I'm gonna keep using 4. And if I ever get rid of that manual power steering pump and go to electric one, I may add 1 or 2 more down there. Because it's eye candy. Okay, let me keep this going. So, I had a good time. I came back with 4 of those big jugs. I like those, they're very different. I was told they gave me out last year, okay. In 2019, I won 4 awards in Slam as well, but the years before that, I came home empty-handed like 2 or 3 years in a row, empty-handed. And then I had to get better, okay? So I came home with 2 firsts, a second and a third. I entered all the forms. I would have came back with a 5th one if they didn't have a time frame on when they were shutting the lanes down on Sunday. There was one more class I wanted to enter, and I wanted to enter base boxing. And they were shutting. I was in another lane, asking them if I could still get in the lane, and they're telling me like, no, they're shutting it down, but still had an elimination and all of that after the fact, which means I could have gotten it. If you had an elimination, I could have went on in the lanes and got my little base boxing run. I was like, all right, man. See, that's the kind of stuff that makes me not support forums, bro. Like, see you somewhere else and just won't come over there. So I save my money. But since they was giving out free sign-up sheets. So many sign-up sheets free. But if it was a money thing, they would have let me come in. Because that's how the world works, right? So anyway, yeah, everybody admiring the car, man. I mean, I couldn't get away from it. You know what I mean? Now, how far are we in? 21 minutes into this. So I'm going to leave this here. Right? Now I'm going to stop this. And no, I'm not going to stop it right now. I still got till 30 minutes. I still got 10 more minutes. So I'm going to talk about this as well, since it's got to do with car audio. Or maybe I should separate it too. No, I'm going to separate it. I'm going to leave this good things about Slam. I got to see people, and all that talk with people, lollygag with people, joke with people. You know what I mean? All in all, it was a good time despite the bumps. Okay, because when I start talking about the bumps, I'm going deeper into it. About what happened and what, people talking about what I should have did and what I could have done and yada, 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 all the way in another state in a parking lot of a hotel. All right, so I'm going to end it here, y'all, but like I said, I had a lot of fun, bro, and as you can see, I did some demos. I got seven demos out and would have gotten more demos out if a situation wouldn't have happened. I would have got to do more demos because that's where I was headed back to before the car stopped. Okay, I was headed back to park back in VIP, clean it off, and continue to do demos because I told people I was coming back there to give them their demos. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this one, man. But Slamology 2026 was good. I enjoyed myself all in all. You know what I mean? And I'm going to move on from here. So it's your boy, the OG Soda Pop Kid. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and peace. I'm going to make these other ones right after this.